It was a mild April afternoon, the kind of day where the breeze whispered promises through the blossoming fields. Mei Lin, a young shopkeeper from a quiet village, was tending to the plants at the entrance of her small store when something caught her eye in the freshly turned garden soil. She bent down and unearthed a small, smooth, colorful stone with gentle, silk-like veins running through it. It wasn't valuable in a monetary sense, but it had a special shimmer, a combination of colors that her grandmother, in her sunny afternoon stories, used to call a hope stone. Curious, Mei Lin took the stone home, and without really knowing why, placed it in a pot of violets on her porch as if it were a good luck charm. That night, she dreamt of a lush garden, overflowing with vibrant flowers, growing all around her house. The dream was so vivid that she woke up with a smile on her face, feeling a lightness, a sense of a new season that she couldn't quite explain. Days later, an artist appeared at the store, a traveler seeking inspiration in the village, carrying paints and canvases. He offered Mei Lin the opportunity to display her embroidery at a regional art fair, an event she hadn't even dreamed of participating in, a chance that would bring recognition and new connections. Coincidence? Perhaps. But what she didn't know was that, by placing that stone in the flower pot, she had connected with a subtle energy. The things we choose to welcome in April can blossom and bear fruit throughout the year. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities and inspiration as if spring were reborn especially for them, while others remain stagnant season after season? The answer lies in the choices we make, not just the big decisions, but the small, everyday actions, like what we nurture or allow to wither in the heart of spring. Yes, everything that enters your space carries its own energy, an invisible freshness that can open pathways for creativity or stifle it with dead leaves you don't even notice. Think about it. What if the secret to an abundant 2025, full of ideas and achievements, lay in a flower in your window or a handful of seeds planted with care? But before anything else, it's really important that you comment with the phrase, gratitude, universe. This simple phrase is your first signal to the universe that you want changes, positive changes in your life. After that, subscribe to the channel, and if you want, leave a like to help us out. We'd be really grateful. Now let's continue. Imagine starting the new season with a fertile field where ideas sprout effortlessly, your home resonates with joy, and every step you take brings you closer to what you've always dreamed of. It's not about random luck or instant magic. It's about aligning your actions with rhythms that have spanned generations, from the gardeners who tended the hanging gardens of Babylon to the artists who painted vibrant landscapes in the Renaissance. Today, I'm going to show you how to do that. You'll discover which elements to cultivate to attract inspiration, which to prune to avoid blocking your growth, and, at the end, a simple ritual that can transform your home into a garden of possibility. Everything I'm going to share comes from practices observed for centuries, traditions that flourished in the lives of people like Mei Lin, and that can now flourish in yours. But before we go deeper, here's the first step. If these words are already awakening something in you, write in the comments, "I open the windows of inspiration for this year." It's your way of announcing to the world that you're ready to bloom, a whisper that spreads further than you imagine. Let's go. April isn't just the month of passing showers or blossoming trees. It's a time of awakening, a rare moment when the earth renews itself and life manifests in vibrant colors. Orchid growers, with their careful hands, say that our actions during this period are like delicate seedlings. They develop for months, sometimes for years. Everything you bring into your home, whether it's a pot of lavender or a cherry blossom branch, has a unique vibration. These vibrations can create lush gardens of opportunity or erect fences that prevent the natural flow of creation. And the most interesting thing? It's not about owning large plantations or expensive materials. You don't need a studio full of sophisticated equipment. It's about intention, about looking at a pot of violets and seeing it as a symbol of renewal, as Mei Lin did, without even understanding what she was starting. She had no books or mentors to guide her, but the energy of the stone and the flowers spoke for itself, opening a path she never imagined. Have you ever felt that? That feeling that something new is sprouting within you, but you lack the right encouragement to blossom? Stay with me, because what you're going to learn today could be the final push that separates a year of creative aridity from a year where everything flourishes. Before we venture into the elements that will transform your space, tell me, have you noticed how certain things in your home seem to suffocate while others energize you? How about learning how to use that to your advantage? Let's start with what attracts inspiration. Simple details, full of meaning and beauty that you can find in any flower shop or on a walk in nature. But first, hit the like button and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss what's coming next. Stories, secrets, and a ritual that can be your invitation to a real new year. Now that you've felt the gentle breeze of what April can do for your life, let's delve into a crucial aspect of this journey, the power of mindfulness. It's not just about what you acquire or discard, but about the why behind each action. Have you heard of a silk weaver named Kenji who lived in a village near Mount Fuji about 100 years ago? He wasn't famous, but he had a peculiar talent. Every year, his fabrics seemed to gain more vibrant colors, while other artisans struggled to maintain their quality. His secret wasn't in the threads or the dyes, but in a simple choice he made every April. Kenji believed that each interwoven thread carried a bit of his spirit. So, at the beginning of spring, he stopped everything, cleaned his loom, and chose a single new flower, a camellia, a tulip, something delicate, and spent hours admiring that flower, absorbing its beauty and complexity. It wasn't superstition, it was contemplation. He said that if you don't pay attention to the details that surround you, they become just noise. And you know what happened? The following year, his kimonos sold like works of art, while competitors wondered where the secret lay. Why does attention transform everything? Because it's the link that connects what you do with what you desire. In Zen Buddhism, they teach that the mind is like a mirror. Reflect chaos, and you see disorder. Reflect beauty, and the world around you begins to radiate at the same frequency. What you bring home in April, a pot of violets, a rose seedling, isn't just decoration. It's a vow, an alliance you make with yourself and with life. Kenji didn't need elaborate altars or pompous ceremonies. He had focus, and that opened doors. So what elements should you choose to nurture this atmosphere of inspiration? First, seek out clay. It's not just earth, it is potential, the basis for flowers to grow and thrive. Grab a handful and hold it for a moment. Close your eyes and feel the texture, the moisture on your fingertips. Think, may my ideas take root and flourish. Keep it on the balcony where nature meets, and let it be your daily reminder that creativity starts with the basics. Next, peacock. Feathers. In India, ancient religions offered them to gods as a gift, a way of saying, bring joy and beauty here. Get a colorful one, place it in a bowl on your table, and before you meditate, say aloud, may my dreams inspire and guide me. It's simple, but each inspiration becomes a reinforcement of that energy. And it doesn't stop there. Birds also enter the dance. In China, they are pure gold, full of life and joy. Buy a cage without birds and visualize each one as a step towards joy. Lastly, shell. In ancient Greece, the sea carried secrets of the world's beauty, and even today they shout prosperity. Buy a fresh bundle, hold a leaf, and write on it a wish, growth, peace, whatever you want. Then keep it in your wallet or pocket. Every time you touch it, you will remember that success is already with you. These objects are not magic on their own. The power comes from what you put into them, as Kenji did with his linen. But there's a catch. Attention needs space to expand. It's no use filling the house with beautiful things if you leave the rest disorganized. Donate what you don't use, organize the closets, let the light in. The gardener knew this. A garden full of weeds only steals the strength of the flowers. If you want that energy to flourish, start light. And before you go to the next step, write in the comments, my attention creates my inspiration. It's your way of confirming that commitment. April is the month to water those seedlings. What you choose now and how you choose will grow. In the coming months, Kenji became a reference in the village not by chance, but because he knew how to nurture things with his soul. You can too. Stay with me, because soon I'll show you what to avoid so you don't stifle that flame, and a ritual to seal it all. But first, hit the like button and turn on notifications. There's more coming, and you won't want to miss out. Let's take a further step in the dance of conscious intention, because April 2025 is just around the corner, and this month has special weight for anyone who wants to build something new. It's not just about what you pick up or drop, but about the fire you ignite within each choice. Do you know the story of Amina, a weaver from a village in northern India? She lived in a simple house, but every year, when spring arrived, her tapestries became a sensation among merchants. It wasn't just talent, there was something more. Every April, she collected the leftover threads from the previous year, burned them in a small fire, and chose 3 new skeins, each with a color that she felt in her chest. Amina didn't read books or follow gurus, but she understood one thing. What you touch with purpose becomes a magnet for what you want. Before burning the old threads, she whispered to herself, I release what has passed and call in what grows. Then she held the new skeins, red for strength, yellow for joy, green for abundance, and spent some time quietly, imagining each thread turning into a sail, a coin, a smile. At the end of that April, customers were knocking on her door before the pieces were even finished. Why? Because her intention gave life to what she did. Why does what you think while you choose change? The game. Because intention is like a wind that pushes things in the right direction. The Buddhists say that the mind is a garden. Plant doubt and weeds sprout. Plant clarity and flowers explode. April is not just any month in 2025. It's a portal to renew, an instant to decide the tone for the rest of the year. What you bring into your life now, with a firm purpose, can become the key to months of flow and lightness. Amina didn't have much, but she had focus, and that made the world turn in her favor. What objects should you choose to carry this energy in April? Start with seeds. Any kind, sunflower, bean, whatever you have on hand. In ancient India, they were a symbol of what is not yet seen, but already exists. Grab a handful, put it in a small clay pot, and hold it for a moment. Close your eyes and say, "May my ideas sprout and bear fruit." Then keep the pot near a window where the sun shines and let it remind you that everything starts small before it grows. Next, take a fresh flower. It could be a daisy, a carnation, something that calls to you. In Hinduism, flowers are offerings to the gods, a way of asking for beauty and peace. Place it in a glass with water on your table, and before changing the water, say, "May my life flourish in harmony." It's a simple gesture, but each petal becomes a mirror of what you want to attract. And there's more, a piece of colored fabric like Amina's skein. Choose a color that pulls you, blue for calm, red for courage, and fold it into a square. Keep it in your drawer or in your bag, and every time you touch it, think, "My energy weaves my path." Finally, a smooth stone from the river, the street, wherever you find it. In various cultures, stones are anchors, quiet strength. Hold it in your hand, close your fist, and mentally write a wish. Stability, success, whatever comes to mind. Carry it in your pocket or leave it in a corner of the house. These objects don't work miracles on their own. The power is in what you deliver to them, as Amina did with her lines, giving a piece of her soul to each color. But attention, intention, needs clean ground to walk on. It's no use carrying new things if the old weighs you down. April is the time to let go. Donate what you don't use, sweep the corners, open the windows. The weaver burned the past to open space, and you can too. Before continuing, write in the comments, "My intention plants my future." It's your way of setting that promise in the ground. April 2025 is your moment to weave what's to come. What you choose now, with an open heart, will take root. Amina became a name at the fairs because she knew how to give meaning to what she touched. You can too. Stay with me, because soon I'll show you what to leave behind so you don't tangle that energy, and a ritual to tie it all together. But first, click on like and turn on notifications. There's more fire coming, and you'll want to be here to feel it. Now that you've felt the pulse of April 2025, let's talk about personal transformation, that leap that changes the way you walk through the world. This month is not just a page on the calendar. It's a chance to turn the key and leave behind what holds you back. Do you know John? A carpenter from a small town in the interior of Brazil. He spent years making crooked tables, the kind no one wanted to buy. But in one rainy April, something clicked. He looked at the old tools, the floor full of sawdust, and decided it was time to start from scratch. John didn't have money to spare, but he had the will. He threw away the bent nails, repaired the squeaky saw, and bought a piece of new wood, not to sell, but to make a chair just for himself. As he sanded, he thought, "I want to sit in something I did right." It took days, but when he finished, he sat in that simple chair and felt a pride he didn't know. Soon after, a neighbor saw it, asked for one just like it, and in weeks, his workshop became a point of order. It wasn't magic. It was him transforming, one chip of wood at a time, until the world noticed. Why is April 2025 perfect for this? Because personal transformation is like planting in the soft earth of spring. Everything you stir now has room to grow. Zen masters say that changing yourself is changing what surrounds you, like a river that cuts stone slowly but surely. John didn't become another guy overnight. He changed his hands, his gaze, his choices, and you can too. This month is your invitation to let go of the old weight and build something that lifts you up, starting with what you bring close. What objects help you turn that page in April? First, a new broom. It seems silly, but sweeping is starting clean. In Thailand, monks sweep temples to open paths. Take one, pass it through the whole house, and While you sweep, think, I remove what no longer serves me. The dust that comes out is the past going away. Then keep the broom in a visible corner, a symbol that you control your space. Then comes the wood, a small piece, like John's. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be a cue you find on the street. In the Celtic tradition, wood is new life, growth. Hold it, feel the texture, and say, I build what sustains me. Leave it in a place where you pass every day, like the work table, to remind you that you are building something solid. And there's the essential oil. Lavender, eucalyptus, whatever calms you. In India, oils are healing, a way to cleanse the soul. Put a few drops on your hands, rub and breathe deeply, thinking, I renew my air. Finally, a new notebook. It doesn't have to be fancy, just blank. Write on the first page, here begins my next step. In ancient Greece, poets wrote to shape the future. Use it to scribble what you want to be in 2025. Ideas, dreams, even fears that you will leave behind. These objects do not transform on their own. They are mirrors of what you decide to become, like the chair that changed John. But there is a catch. Transformation requires courage to let go. In April, look at what holds you back. Clothes you don't wear, old papers, promises you don't keep. Donate, tear, release. John threw the bent nails away because he knew that the new one doesn't fit in the rubble. Before continuing, write in the comments, I transform for what I deserve. It's your way of telling the universe that you're in the game. April 2025 is your ground to build differently. What you do now, with your hands and heart, will echo all year long. John became the carpenter he always wanted to be because he looked inside and moved what was outside. You can, too. Stay with me, because soon I'll show you what to avoid so you don't block that change, and a ritual to establish that energy. But first, click on the like and turn on notifications. There's more coming, and you'll want to catch this wave. We have reached the end of this trail, and April 2025 is waiting for you with an invitation that cannot be ignored to transform who you are, one gesture at a time. Think of John, the carpenter who turned the game around with a simple chair, or you, holding a new broom, deciding that the floor of your life deserves to be clean. Everything we've seen so far, the objects you choose, the weight you release, is about shaping what throbs inside you. It's not just about having things around you. It's about making them speak for you, carrying your plans to the world. Remember the wood you held, feeling the rough texture on your palm? It is not just a piece of tree. It is the skeleton of what you can build. And that blank notebook with your first scribbled line, it is not just any paper. It is the map of a path that only you draw. April is not a lost month in the calendar. It is the spark that ignites the rest of the year. The wise men of Japan say that a small step taken with an open chest is worth more than 1,000 empty promises. John learned this by sanding a chair, Amina weaving her threads, Hiroshi hammering iron. And you? What will you shape with your hands? But transformation is not just about taking the new. It is about letting go of what gets stuck. That drawer full of junk, the habit of saying, tomorrow I change, the fear of trying. April 2025 is your chance to burn all this, as Amina did with her old lines, and open space for what breathes. Take the essential oil, rub it on your hands, feel the smell rising, and let it remind you, you are the sculptor of your air, your time, your ground. Each object you brought close, the stone in your pocket, the flower on the table, is a brick in the house you are raising. And now, the ritual to seal it all. Take the broom, sweep a corner of the house, even if it's already clean. As the bristles dance on the floor, say, I open my way. Then, take the wood, the notebook, and the stone, place them on a table or in a corner that you see every day. Light a candle, white if you have one, and for 5 minutes, watch the flame tremble. Think about what you want to carry until April. Strength, lightness, a dream that won't let you go. Blow out the candle with your fingers without blowing to keep the heat of the promise. Leave the objects there as guardians of what you have planted. Before I say goodbye, one last request. Write in the comments, I create what I live. It's your seal, the cry that tells the universe that you're not just watching, you're in command. April is your turning point, but only if you move the pieces. John didn't wait for luck to knock on the door. He made the chair and let it speak. You don't have to wait either. What you build now echoes until the end of the year and beyond. Final statement. You don't change the future, you sculpt it today. Think about it. If this spark ignited you, click on like, turn on notifications, and throw this video to someone who needs a push. What you plant in April blooms for months. So, get to work. Until next time.